Welcome to English Core, champions. Consider this session a masterclass designed to provide you with a clear structure, practical techniques, and immediately applicable language skills. As you listen, identify one key insight you intend to put into practice today and share it in the comments. Your reflections contribute to the growth of our entire community. Now, take a deep breath, sit up straight, and let's work together to sharpen your communication skills and enhance your English proficiency. Have you ever noticed that individuals who communicate effectively, who speak with power, clarity, and charm, tend to secure better jobs, earn higher salaries, and attract greater opportunities? They command respect whether they're in the office, at a social gathering, or any environment they enter. And you know what's interesting? Sometimes, these are just everyday people. They aren't celebrities, billionaires, or famous figures. They're simply ordinary individuals. However, the moment they begin to speak, something shifts. Their words carry weight, and their presence becomes magnetic. We enjoy engaging with them, we feel good in their company, and we eagerly seek their company again. Why is this? Because communication is the true superpower, the real beauty. Now, listen very closely. If you aspire to cultivate a strong personality, one that commands admiration, respect, and leaves a lasting impression, you must grasp a fundamental principle. Speak well, speak effectively, and speak clearly. What does this entail? It means that every word you utter should serve a purpose. Your thoughts should be articulated elegantly and with precision. Your message should be as transparent as crystal. You should carefully consider your words before speaking and thoughtfully structure your delivery. Remember, a clear mind combined with clear language equals a compelling personality. In this video, I'm going to share 10 concrete tips that are practical, actionable, and easy to implement. These aren't just theoretical concepts. They are proven techniques that will yield tangible results. I promise you that if you stay with me until the end and actively practice what I'm about to share, your communication skills will be permanently transformed. I guarantee it. And the best part? Watching this video will not only enhance your communication abilities, but also improve your English listening and speaking skills simultaneously. So, be sure to watch until the very end. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more transformative content like this. Let's begin. Let's transform. Tip 1. Say without saying. This is a potent concept that's often overlooked. According to psychological research, people form their initial impression of you within just 7 seconds. That's right, a mere 7 seconds. Before you even have a chance to fully express yourself, people have already made judgments about 70% of who you are, including whether you are confident, intelligent, likable, and trustworthy. Isn't that incredible? So, what does this mean? It means you are communicating even when you're not actively speaking. Your body language, facial expressions, eye contact, smile, posture, and overall energy all convey a powerful message. Let me give you a compelling real-world example. Imagine two candidates sitting in a waiting room before a job interview. Both possess the same qualifications and skill sets. One candidate slouches, engrossed in their phone, appearing bored and listless. The other sits upright, shoulders relaxed, a gentle smile gracing their face, exuding calm and positive energy. Who do you think the interviewer will favor even before asking the first question? Undoubtedly, the second candidate. Why? Because their nonverbal cues already communicate, I am confident, I am professional, I respect myself and others. Your body speaks volumes, often louder than your words. Here's what you should always remember. Walk into a room with confidence, even if you feel apprehensive inside. Smile naturally. A genuine warm smile, not a forced one. Maintain good posture, keeping your back straight, which conveys strength. Make eye contact, demonstrating honesty and connection. Avoid fidgeting or playing with your hands, as it projects nervousness. Master the 7-second rule, and you'll win half the battle before you even utter a word, because people perceive your energy first and then listen to your message. Tip 2. Storytelling. Now, listen carefully. If you aspire to capture hearts, inspire minds, and leave a lasting impression, you must master the art of storytelling. Storytelling reigns supreme in the realm of communication. Why? Because while facts inform, stories captivate. When you share a story, people naturally listen, connect emotionally, and retain the information for a longer duration. For example, imagine you are trying to convey the importance of hard work to someone. You could simply state, "Hard work is important," which is bland and forgettable. Alternatively, you could share a short story. Let me tell you about a boy named Sam. Sam grew up in a small village, lacking electricity and internet access. But every night, he diligently studied under a street light because he harbored a dream of becoming a doctor. People ridiculed him. But a decade later, Sam saved the lives of those same people who once mocked him. Now, which approach is more emotionally resonant? Which one will remain in memory longer? The story, of course. That's the power of storytelling in any situation. Whether you're delivering a speech, participating in a meeting, teaching a lesson, or simply making a point in a conversation, use stories. Incorporate real-life examples. Paint a vivid picture in the listener's mind because human brains have been wired for stories since ancient times, when people gathered around campfires and shared wisdom through narratives. Remember, keep your stories concise but emotionally engaging. Incorporate elements of struggle and triumph. Encourage the listener to see themselves within the narrative. If you become a skilled storyteller, people will love engaging with you, listening to you, and learning from you. And more than that, you will become unforgettable. Tip 3. Empathy. If you want to become a master communicator and foster trust, likability, and openness in others, you must cultivate one magical quality: empathy. What is empathy? Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. It means putting yourself in someone else's shoes. It involves listening with your heart, not just your ears. Why is empathy important for communication? Because when people feel genuinely understood, they feel safe around you. They trust you, they respect you, and they open their hearts to you. Without empathy, communication becomes dry, cold, and meaningless. Let's illustrate with a powerful example. Imagine you're sharing a work-related problem with a friend. You're feeling stressed and isolated. One friend listens and immediately dismisses your concerns, saying, "Oh, don't worry about it, it's nothing, just forget about it." They haven't truly listened or shown genuine care. However, another friend looks at you attentively, listens patiently, nods gently, and says, "I can see how stressful that must be for you. It's really tough to feel like that at work. You're not alone, and I'm here if you want to talk more." Now, tell me, with whom would you feel closer? Whom would you trust more? Whom would you want to keep in your life? Of course, the second friend. How can you demonstrate empathy while communicating? Listen actively. Don't just wait for your turn to speak. Truly listen. Acknowledge their feelings. You don't always have to solve their problem. Simply show that you understand. Use phrases that convey understanding, such as, "I can imagine how that feels. It sounds like you're going through a lot." Or, "Thank you for sharing that with me." Be present. Eliminate distractions and give them your undivided attention. Here's a real-world bonus. In sales, leadership, and relationships, the most successful individuals aren't the ones who talk the most, but the ones who listen with empathy. Because when you make someone feel understood, you win their heart forever. Tip 4. The sweetest sound. One of the greatest secrets of powerful communication was beautifully articulated by Dale Carnegie, the renowned author of How to Win Friends and Influence People. He said, "A person's name is to that person the sweetest sound in any language." Yes, it's absolutely true. When you use someone's name correctly during a conversation, you instantly make them feel special, seen, and important. But why? Because a name is more than just a word. It's a person's identity, their childhood memories, their family's voice, their sense of self. When you say someone's name warmly, you are touching their soul, not just their ears. Picture this. You walk into a bustling Starbucks, filled with music, chatter, and the aroma of fresh coffee. You place your order saying, "Hi, I'll have a caramel macchiato. Name's Daniel." The cashier smiles and notes it down. 5 minutes later, you're standing near the counter with 10 other people, waiting. The barista looks around, holds up the cup, and calls out, "Caramel macchiato for Daniel. Have an awesome day, Daniel," with a bright and energetic voice. At that moment, you feel a little spark. You're not just an order number. You're not just another face. You feel seen. You feel remembered. And guess what? It's such a small thing, just your name, but it makes the experience feel personal, friendly, and positive. You might even smile back and think, "I like coming here. These people are nice." That's the hidden magic. In business meetings, friendships, and interviews, when you use someone's name genuinely, they feel important and connected to you. And once people feel connected to you, opportunities, trust, and success naturally follow. Important tip: use names naturally, not every other sentence. Use them when greeting, while making a point, and when closing a conversation. With warmth, not force. Always remember, in a world where everyone craves attention, simply remembering and using someone's name makes you unforgettable. Tip 5. Emotional intelligence. This tip is life-changing. If you truly master this, you will rise higher in relationships, business, leadership, everywhere. What is emotional intelligence? It's the ability to understand and manage your own emotions, and to understand and influence the emotions of others. And what's the most powerful aspect of emotional intelligence? It's learning to respond, not react. What's the difference? Reacting is automatic, emotional, and impulsive. Responding is thoughtful, calm, and intelligent. Imagine you are in a meeting and someone publicly criticizes your idea. If you react, you get angry, your face turns red, and you say something rude. Now you look bad, emotional and unprofessional. But if you respond, you stay calm, take a deep breath, and say, "Thank you for your feedback. I'll think more about it, and perhaps we can discuss improvements together." The result: you look strong, mature, and you win respect. You build bridges instead of walls. Let's take a personal example. At home, your partner says something hurtful during an argument. You feel hurt and angry. If you react immediately, you scream and say hurtful things in return, and now the fight escalates. But if you take a breath, remain silent for a few seconds, and then calmly say, "I'm feeling hurt right now. Let's talk when we both feel calmer." Now you are protecting your relationship. You are being wise, not weak. How can you build emotional intelligence and learn to respond, not react? Pause before you speak. Always. Name your emotion. Are you feeling angry, sad, or insecure? Label it. Ask yourself, what is the best way to respond that serves the situation? Remember your bigger goal. Winning a momentary argument is useless if you lose a relationship. Leaders, great speakers, and excellent communicators are all emotionally intelligent. They stay calm under pressure, choose their words carefully, and remain centered even when storms surround them. Emotional intelligence equals inner strength plus outer influence. Tip 6. Echoing technique. If you want to become an unforgettable communicator, you must master the art of echoing. What is the echoing technique? Echoing means you repeat a small part of what the other person just said in a natural, warm way. Why does this work? Because it shows the other person that you are truly listening, that you care about what they are saying, and you are inviting them to share more. It makes the speaker feel understood, and it encourages them to open up even deeper. How does it look in real life? Example 1. Your friend says, "I've been feeling very stressed at work lately." You reply by echoing, "Stressed at work?" Notice you are not giving advice. You are simply reflecting their feeling back. This invites them to continue. "Yeah, my manager keeps giving me impossible deadlines." Now the conversation deepens naturally. Example 2. Your colleague says, "I finally finished the project after 3 months." You echo, "3 months? That sounds like a massive project." Again, the person will feel encouraged to share more. "Yes, it was exhausting, but so worth it. I learned so much." You just made them feel valued and important, all by using the simple magic of echoing. Important. Don't repeat everything, just a keyword or emotion. Use a warm, curious tone, not a mechanical one. In negotiations, sales, and conflict resolution, echoing is a hidden superpower. When someone feels you are truly understanding them, they become much more willing to cooperate. Tip 7. Voice modulation. You can have the best words in the world, but if your voice is flat, dull, or robotic, people will lose interest. Your voice is your music. What is voice modulation? Voice modulation means controlling the pitch, high or low, pace fast or slow, and pauses, silent gaps, while speaking to make your communication alive and magnetic. Let's break it down. Highs and lows. Pitch is the height of your voice. If you speak always high-pitched, you sound anxious or irritating. If you speak always low-pitched, you sound boring and sleepy. Great communicators vary their pitch naturally. They go higher when they get excited, and they go lower when they are serious. Example: telling a success story with an excited tone. "And then we won the competition." Higher pitch, emotional tone. "It wasn't easy. There were nights we almost gave up." Lower pitch, pace, speed of speaking. Pace is how fast or slow you speak. If you speak too fast, people feel stressed. If you speak too slow, people feel sleepy. You must change your speed based on your message. Example: fast pace for excitement. "The moment we saw the results, we jumped, screamed, hugged. It was unbelievable." Slow pace for serious points. But deep inside, we knew the real work had just begun. Control the speed. Control the emotions. Pause. The silent power. A pause is a short moment of silence. Pausing after a key point makes people absorb your words, feel suspense, and respect your message. Example: sometimes the smallest decisions change your entire life. Those pauses create depth. They pull the audience in. They make your words feel heavier and more powerful. Top TED Talk speakers master voice modulation. They sound like they are singing a story, not reading a boring script. If you master your voice, you master people's hearts. Tip 8. Broken record technique. Have you ever faced someone who won't take no for an answer, tries to argue endlessly, or pushes you into uncomfortable situations? In such cases, one of the most powerful communication techniques is the broken record technique. What is it? You calmly repeat your main point again and again, without getting emotional until the other person understands you are serious. Just like an old broken record that keeps repeating the same line. Why is this technique powerful? Because it shows firmness without aggression. It protects your boundaries. It forces the other person to respect your decision. You must repeat calmly, without anger or sarcasm. Example 1. Someone keeps pushing you to drink alcohol at a party. You don't want to. Them. Come on. Just one drink. You, calmly. No thanks. I'm not drinking tonight. Them. Oh, don't be boring. You, still calm. No thanks. I'm not drinking tonight. Them. Just a little. Them. You, still calm, smiling. No thanks. I'm not drinking tonight. After 2 or 3 times, they will give up because you didn't argue, explain, or justify. You stood your ground calmly. Example 2. In business negotiation, the client demands extra services without extra payment. You simply repeat, "We'd love to help, but that would require an additional fee." No arguing, no justifying, just calm, professional repetition. Don't fight. Don't explain too much. Just repeat your boundary calmly. Over time, people respect you even more because you stay professional, stay confident, stay in control. Tip 9. Humor. Humor is not just about telling jokes. It's about bringing lightness, warmth, and human connection into your conversations. Why is humor so powerful? It breaks tension. It makes people feel comfortable. It creates instant bonding. It shows you are approachable, not arrogant, and it makes your words stick in their memory longer. If you can make people smile, you can make people trust you. And trust is the foundation of all powerful communication. But humor doesn't mean becoming a clown, and it doesn't mean making fun of others. It's about being light, relatable, and sometimes laughing at yourself. Imagine you're in a serious job interview. The interviewer asks, "Tell us about a time you made a mistake." You could answer stiffly and nervously, or you could lightly smile and say, "Only one mistake? Because I have a whole collection." Then you naturally move into your real answer. What happens? The interviewer relaxes, smiles, and remembers you. You come across as confident and human. Humor created connection. You're having a tough negotiation. Tension is high, and everyone looks serious. You notice everyone is drinking black coffee. You smile and say, "Looking at all this coffee, I'm guessing we're negotiating caffeine rights today too." People laugh, tension melts, and the room softens. What happens next? Because people relax, they become more open, less defensive, and more willing to listen. Humor disarmed the tension. You're giving a speech about teamwork. Instead of starting seriously, you say, "They say teamwork makes the dream work, unless the dream is to take a long nap, in which case I work better alone." People laugh, and they immediately connect to you. Your speech becomes memorable because you weren't just lecturing, you were sharing and relating. How to use humor the right way. Be self-deprecating. Make small jokes about yourself, not others. Be situational. Notice funny things around you. Be natural, not forced. Don't insult anyone. People who laugh with you trust you, and people who trust you follow you. When you use humor smartly, you become unforgettable. Tip 10. Vulnerability. What is vulnerability? Vulnerability means being honest, open, and real about your feelings, experiences, and mistakes without pretending to be perfect. Many people think vulnerability is weakness, but in reality, it is your greatest strength. When you show your real self, people trust you, connect with you, and respect you even more. Because here's a deep truth. Everyone is fighting a silent battle inside. When they see your honesty, they feel less alone. Vulnerability is the bridge that connects two hearts. Why is vulnerability so powerful? It builds instant trust. When you are open, others feel safe to be open too. It makes you relatable. Nobody is perfect. When you show your struggles, people feel, "You are just like me." It shows confidence. Only a strong person can admit their flaws without fear. And it creates deep emotional impact. When you share your pain, dreams, or lessons, it touches the listener's heart. When people feel your emotions, They remember you forever. But wait, vulnerability is not oversharing everything about your life, crying in every conversation, or talking only about your problems. Vulnerability means sharing the right real story at the right time, in the right way to create connection, not pity. Imagine this situation. You are giving a motivational talk. You are on stage, and the audience expects you to be perfect. You could stand tall and say, "I have always been successful. Life is amazing." And people would admire you for 5 minutes, but they won't connect deeply. Or you could begin like this. 5 years ago, I was completely broken. I had just lost my job. My bank account was empty. And every morning, I woke up feeling useless. One day, I sat alone in my tiny kitchen, looking at a packet of instant noodles, and I realized that was all I could afford for dinner. I thought, is this what my life has become? But that night, something inside me decided this is not the end. This is the beginning. Slowly, step by step, I started rebuilding my life. Today I stand here not because I never fell, but because I learned how to stand up after falling again and again. What happens after you share this? The audience leans forward. Some have tears in their eyes. Some nod silently, feeling your pain. And some smile, feeling hope inside them. They will never forget you, because they saw themselves in your story. You didn't come across as a superhero. You came across as a warrior. And people admire warriors, not superheroes. Simple step-by-step guide. How to use vulnerability smartly. 1. Choose a real moment from your life. Struggle, fear, or failure. 2. Be honest, but keep it short and meaningful. 3. Focus on the lesson, not just the pain. 4. Share it naturally, like you're telling a trusted friend. 5. End with hope. Show how you overcame it. Remember this. Walls keep people out. Vulnerability invites people in. When you dare to be vulnerable, you don't just talk to people's minds. You touch their souls. And touching souls is what makes communication powerful, unforgettable, and viral. Real communication is not mind to mind. It's heart to heart. And only vulnerability can open that door. You don't need perfect words, you need present words, spoken with clarity, empathy, and courage. From today, choose one technique and practice it in a real conversation. Then come back and comment. I will practice today, and I expect to change. Your commitment may spark someone else's breakthrough. If this lesson served you, subscribe to English Core, turn on notifications, and share this video with a friend who's building their voice. Tell us below which tip hit hardest and why. Together, we'll make your communication not just heard, but remembered.